Trailblazers, welcome back. Episode 40. This is ESL Trailblazer Nandis. Let's make something happen. Build that momentum. Episode 40. Wow, I can't believe it. But excited nonetheless. Remember, Freshen Up Fridays coming up again this Friday. If you missed it last week, there's a link below to sign up. Now, I want to get right into it this week. We're going to be talking about outcomes and decisions. But before we get to that, I have a description and I want you to think about who I'm describing. Okay, so we have a lot of different roles in our lives, whether professional or outside in society. Here's a description. This person has expert knowledge in key areas, but may be uninterested in all other areas. Who am I describing? Think of a role, one word, right after this. Alright, and we're back, Trailblazers. Let's get right into it. You know who I was describing? It's called a specialist, okay? And that's why a lot of students nowadays, young people or maybe middle-aged people, we're all trying to become specialists. And I'm not sure what you think about it, but I've started to develop an opinion that this is a bad way of going. We're going down the wrong path with this specializing, okay? As you heard in my definition, what I want to highlight in that description was uninterested in all other areas, okay? When we try to specialize or become experts in something so detailed, we lose the big picture. And the big picture is very important when we're talking about education and getting children and young adults into finding their careers and what they want to do with their lives. Or generally in university with academia and how specialization is becoming such a focus. Of course, I'm not saying no specialists. We need some, of course. But we also need to, encourage as well the general knowledge and maybe becoming experts in a few fields so that we can draw the dots and connect things together, because when we can do that, we can work well with others that come from different fields or industries and make something happen. That's what I'm talking about. And that is where I'm leading in with this episode, outcomes. We create outcomes, and these outcomes come from working with others, not just in our field, but in others. I like that word outcome, and it's probably one that not many people or students in particular use, and it's synonymous with results, right? It's synonymous with conclusions, or the end, or the aftermath, end results, effect, product. All of these words are synonymous with outcome, and that's why I wanted to focus on it today. Okay, you can be talking about your personal outcomes, you can be talking about your professional outcomes, meetings, projects, teams, whatever. It all fits in, and you can use that word instead of just saying results, sounding like a broken record if you're a boss or a team leader. Okay, switch it up. Let's do it. Fluency. Remember that ESL Trailblazer is all about fluency. Okay, so outcome, collocations, I'm focusing on those. Here are three. You make a mind map if you're a teacher on the board, and you put these three around them. Anticipated outcomes, expected outcomes, likely outcomes. Okay, so those three collocations are describing the future and what, again, anticipate, expect, or is likely to happen. Right? And we put it with outcome, all right? So if we're talking about sport, for instance, in a practical sense, we might have a sense that of the anticipated outcome describing the score of the game, or the expected outcome when two teams meet, because we know the history and we're big fans, okay? We might also know the likely outcome of some meeting because we know the individuals taking part in the meeting, and maybe we've seen it before and we've seen a pattern emerge. So it's a likely outcome or an expected outcome. You can use it to talk about the future, or you can use it when you're reporting or commenting on something that's already happened, in a sense saying, oh, that was an expected outcome or a likely outcome, wasn't it? Okay? Like that sense, all right? The other part of the mind map, which is a line drawing another circle, is another group of words that can go with outcome as well, but don't express that future meaning, okay? Desirable, favorable, satisfactory, eventual, and final. These are describing a little bit different something. And I think it's clear, but it's a feeling. And you would be talking about what is the desirable outcome of this meeting, of this project, of this business. If you're and waiting for feedback, like from a job interview, or you're making a bid to win a project in business, or you're putting in a bid to win a project in school, okay? Obviously, there's a favorable outcome that you are hoping for, okay? And then final and eventual is when maybe you're telling the story and you're saying, oh, and the eventual outcome was, or finally, the final outcome was this, like when you want to say who won in a competition or something, okay? So those are the words with outcome. I think you can definitely practice that in some sentences with your students. Very valuable. And if you are already an advanced learner, you can really put that in there and substitute it for results, okay, or ends. The other word, decision. I've done a lesson before. Check out this link right here, decisions and plans. Great on vocabulary connected with the topic of decisions and plans, but I'm going to add a little bit to it. The collocations that go with decisions here, okay, everybody? Deep breath. Let's do it. All right, so decisions, another mind map for the teachers. Again, it helps students visualize and remember the words better. Maybe you can encourage them to record vocabulary like that. In my experience, students already have their own way of doing it, but why not say so? Yeah, I mean, they could switch. So, come to, make, reach a decision, postpone a decision. All right, so if we're postponing it or we're putting off, we're going to make that decision later, okay? Because we don't have to now. Probably happens a lot in bureaucracy, okay? To come to a decision, that means that usually other people are involved, okay? And when you reach a decision, usually, again, there are some stages that you might have to go through. Like, again, with the job interview scenario, there are some stages that the HR people have to go through before they reach a decision. And usually they'll use reach because there's discussions, deliberations, another word, before they choose who should get that job, okay? But we also have a few more. You can reverse or you can overturn a decision. Oh, you like that? Overturn it, like you made a decision and then somebody maybe above you overturns that decision, like in court. You might hear it a lot, or in court, Hollywood-style movies, but if you're a boss, you might overturn a team leader's decision, a manager's decision. That's up to you, right? You got the power. Power. Ooh. All right. Finally, there's a few other words that go with decision. Here we go. Unanimous decision. I'll put that word right there. Unanimous, I repeat. Major, critical decision, key decision. Okay, so unanimous, major, critical, key. Those are all little bit variations to saying, and it's an important decision, it's a difficult decision, it's a hard decision, or it is my favorite big decision. Ooh, that's like, wow, amazing vocabulary there. I'm exaggerating a little bit, sorry, but you get my point. I just want to try and encourage you to use something new, a different variation, a different combination. Unanimous, major, critical, key. Key decision. It's a key decision. I like that, all right? Unanimous meaning that everybody has to agree. Everybody has to decide on the same thing, okay? And when you're reporting, you're saying that everybody decided together on this. It was unanimous, okay? So those are my words with decision. I'm leaving you with 3 more bonuses that I really like, and I can't make a whole episode on them. Awkward and discomfort, as well as disapprove, okay? When you disapprove of something, you're just saying that you don't like it, but the person's doing it anyway, okay? Like a parent to a child's behavior, their own child's behavior. Or maybe it is a boss to the team or a team leader to somebody in the team. You disapprove of it. You can't stop it. You don't like it, but they're doing it anyway, okay? Discomfort. Something doesn't feel comfortable. Usually with an injury, if you're an athlete, you're feeling some discomfort. It doesn't mean it hurts, but it bothers you, okay? And awkward. A situation is awkward when you feel uncomfortable in that situation. And maybe I've covered this word before, but my favorite example with awkward is when you might be on a date and you're sitting and talking to somebody, and all of a sudden it goes quiet, nobody's saying anything. Awkward, okay? Any situation where there's silence maybe when there shouldn't be, when there's people speaking, is usually feeling awkward. Or, some kind of meeting with another person, again, it feels awkward. Maybe you're in their home and awkward, okay? So those are my words. I'm gonna finish with one more description before I go. I know I'm keep pushing, but I'm almost done. This is one more description that I want to go with, okay? So this person solves difficult problems with creative ideas and is not afraid to challenge the norms, but may ignore the details. Who am I describing? Innovator. Innovator. That's right. And that's what you should strive to be. I think it's a good way to go if you're a teacher. I like it. I like with the creative ideas, and I like not being afraid of challenging the norms. Challenge the norms in your classroom. Challenge your students. I will see you next week back for another episode of ESL Trailblazer. We're going to go to number 41. Freshen Up Fridays coming up again this Friday. Don't forget it. Remember, build momentum. Let's make something happen. I'm Nan, this ESL Trailblazer. Trailblazers, you have a great week. Take care. Later.